What's up guys, welcome back to CS2 Daily. I hope you're all having a great day and a great weekend. Day 1 of the Blast Open London playoffs did not disappoint. MOUZ shut down M80 Cinderella run to make it into the semis. G2 came out swinging against FaZe in a heated 2-0. karrigan speaks on Jacob's future, and we've got some roster news too with Wildcard signing Fiku. Don't forget to drop a sub and a like if you enjoy the content, I would really appreciate it. Let's get straight into it. So we kicked the day off with MOUZ versus M80, and MOUZ have officially ended M80 Cinderella run here in London, taking the series 2-1 and booking their spot in the semi-finals against Vitality. It all started on Ancient, M80's pick, and they actually came out swinging. But every time they looked like they were finding rhythm, MOUZ punished them with those aggressive mid-round pushes, and even after Lake pulled off this disgusting pistol ace, MOUZ's firepower was just too much, and they even pulled off a 3v5 conversion to close out the map 13-10. Then we head over to Mirage, and I just had to show this because it's absolutely hilarious. It's your stereotypical version of what NACS looks like currently, and it's basically M80 missing every single window smoke on T side. It's absolutely comedy. But back to the map at hand. Mirage flipped the script completely. M80 locked in a monster 10-2 CT half, and while Brolin's boys did rally on their defense to close the gap, Hex 1v2 clutch finally sealed the deal and leveled the series 1-1. And that brought us to Inferno, and honestly this is where MOUZ looked like true semi-finalists. Spinks dropped 15 kills in the first half, including a ridiculous ace right here, and from there it was a breeze, a 13-3 stomp to lock in top 4. It's also worth pointing out that MOUZ are quietly building confidence on Ancient. Torzy told HATV before the playoffs that their 15% win rate stat was misleading, and now they've won it back to back against G2 and M80. Vitality better be ready tomorrow because MOUZ are starting to click, and Vitality need to get out of their little rut that they're in. But if we take a look at the stats for after the game, Spinks dropping a monstrous plus 16 and a 1.38 rating. Torzy right behind him with a plus 9 and 1.16 rating. Brolin with a nice plus 10 and a 1.13 rating. Jim Fat sitting at a minus 5. Exertion a minus 8. Over on M80 side, we have Swisher with a minus 16 and a 0.73. Pretty bad series out of him. But I mean, all in all, M80, I mean, the whole squad, I'm pretty sure that was their first main stage ever. So I think you give this team time, let them cook a little bit, you know, get their nerves in there, and I think they'll do pretty well. And lastly, G2 have knocked FaZe out of Blast London with a clean 2-0, moving on to the semi-finals where they face Furia. This one was particularly hard for me to watch as I'm a fan of both teams, but G2 went for the punish pick of Inferno, and it was the right call. FaZe's defensive issues that showed up in groups came back again here. Despite winning most of the opening duels, they could barely string rounds together. Frozen was the only one putting up resistance, but G2 were in control from start to finish, cruising to a 13-5 win. Dust2 was a whole different beast though. FaZe started strong, Jacob's pistol quad kill and a brokey 1v3 had them in the lead early, and they carried that momentum into the second half. At one point they were up 4 rounds and looked ready to push us to a decider, but that's when Heavy God came alive. His ridiculous 1v3 clutch flipped the script, dragging G2 back into it. FaZe still forced overtime thanks to a karrigan 1v2, but once it hit double OT, G2's defense shut them down completely before closing it 19-15. Absolutely brutal. Heavy God was the start of the series with a 1.48 rating and multiple momentum shifting plays, while Hunter and Mattis backed him up with big impact too. Over on FaZe, everyone having a mediocre series, but like I said in the last video, I feel like Jacob just needs the experience, and they'll find their groove. It's their first tournament together as a team, so we'll see how this FaZe squad does in the future events. With that, G2 booked their spot in the semis, and we'll see them take on Furia tomorrow, which will be a really spicy matchup. Just quickly as well, karrigan also shares his thoughts on Jacob and his future on FaZe, which I'll just quickly share with you guys right here.
Looking back at Jacob, Obviously, there's times where he's looking a bit more nervous, but there's a lot to handle. So you guys are super experienced as a team. How are you helping him deal with this and get ready for his first ever stage?
There's two things to look at right there. First of all, he has not all his positions from Apogee. He's coming in from a Polish-speaking team to an English-speaking team with a lot of pressure from being in FaZe Clan. It's a big jersey to wear for a lot of oncoming players. But the thing is, I can say a lot of stuff to him. I can give some advice. I even had a team talk with the team where everybody gave him one advice from there, what they would do different if they were in the young karrigan. And I think there's a lot of good things to take away. But that said, I think he just have to be exposed for everything, for the interviews, for being here, sitting and waiting for the next game to start and him to play. And then only there he can learn the most. But we will be there to support him and catch him if he's falling through.
So some really insightful stuff there from karrigan, and I feel like they align with my thoughts exactly. Like Jacob literally just needs to experience under his belt under the FaZe banner, and I think they should mesh pretty well. But we'll see, time will tell. Before we wrap things up, a bit of roster news. Wildcard have picked up Fiku to fill the gap left by Sonic's departure. The Polish rifler spent over 3 years in OG, where he played alongside names like Flamesy and Dexter, and while he was never a star, he was a consistent supportive piece who even made multiple major appearances. Wildcard's been in flux recently, sus transfer listed, Sonic leaving, Stan is law bouncing in and out of the roster, and FaZe just recalled from his 9 loan. Fiku now comes in as a stabilising piece, and it will be interesting to see how the NA org uses him alongside this constantly shifting lineup. And before we go, these are the games for tomorrow. It's semi-finals Saturday, and what a Saturday it will be. We have 2 Titan games here, MOUZ versus Vitality and G2 versus Furia. I will be covering those games, so don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.